There's something about young love in film that strikes a chord. Do you know what I mean? Whether hopeful or tragic, cinema is the perfect place for these narratives to play out. When analysing romance as a genre, escapism is vital. Whether you're a hopeless romantic or more of a realist, you'll probably still agree that the majority of romance films push the boundaries of what is believable. Here, the emotion of the story and its characters takes centre focus. This is where we can start to see why coming-of-age stories fit so well within romance. On one hand, these stories bolster the realism of the genre with our ability to relate to the childhood experience. On the other, the immaturity and the volatile lives of our characters make successful resolution all the more improbable. In an increasingly cynical world, our life experience tells us that the concept of true love is infinitely rarer and more complex than we once thought, and that the idea of meeting your soulmate as a child or teenager is unlikely beyond belief. So why is it that we love these stories as much as we do? I think we can find the answer contained in a single word: nostalgia.
Nostalgia. That's why you're here. You're a tourist in your own youth.
We might like to pretend that we are the masters of our fate, each able to change our behaviour and influence our life path at a moment's notice, but the truth is much more simple. Any psychologist can tell you that a huge amount of who we are as people stems from our childhoods. Our parents, our friends, and that one summer that went on forever. Perhaps it is only natural to grow up spending the whole time reflecting and comparing. What if this had happened differently? What if that person liked me back? What if I got better grades? This is how coming-of-age stories always find a way to emotionally resonate with us. Where a sci-fi or fantasy film tells us to suspend our disbelief and learn the rules of a new world, coming-of-age films only require us to cast our minds back to when we were children ourselves, the struggles, the victories, and the never-ending change. In theory, our cynicism and our knowledge of reality should compromise our ability to enjoy young love stories. Instead, I think that the opposite happens. True love acts as magic realism, a hard-to-believe element told as true so earnestly that we're forced to believe in it and to become invested, especially now that it is grounded in realistic nods to our own childhood experiences. These stories take something that we all know, like school, growing up, or summer camp, and add something impossibly profound and slightly magical to the mix. On a personal level, I have no false pretenses about being a sucker for a coming-of-age romance. 3 of my 4 favourite films of all time are about growing up. Hell, even John Carpenter's The Thing tells a story about a unique individual trying to mature in a hostile environment where nobody truly understands them. Maybe we enjoy films about young love because we can still look back at our own one that got away, through rose-tinted glasses. Maybe we never had anything that came close, and it's fun to engage with stories that paint youth with such a fresh and romantic brush. Maybe it's because now we're grown up, dealing with taxes, mortgages, raising children of our own, and missing the company of our friends who are also drowning in adulthood. Is it really any surprise that people like that, people like us, are happy to look back at more innocent times? The love that could have been, the person that understood us at a time where we understood nothing. I know wholeheartedly that I'll always have time for these stories. I'll willingly suspend my disbelief as a way to go back and feel the limitless potential we all once had, to see an impossible romance bloom before its time and against all odds. Young love is perhaps the purest form of so-called hopeless romance, for better or worse, whether we get a fairy tale ending, a brutal heartbreak, or the creature from The Thing being a gay icon. Whichever it may be, count me in. I'll always have time for one more trip back.